Hey YouTube, wanted to make another video today. I guess this would be the third video kind of going over the old library bar build that we have going on right now. And unfortunately, this one took a little bit longer than I had expected because I actually was making a whole bunch of edits, changes, populating shelves with a whole bunch of books and really building up the kind of the that library aesthetic, with the one sitting area. And I guess I forgot to save and lost all of my progress. So it's kind of really bummed out about that. So I just said, hey, let me just start fresh, start, a whole new build and we'll see what we can come up with kind of the second time around. Still pretty much going for the exact same aesthetic, but with that being said, let's jump into it and I'll show you what I've done so far. Yep. So you can see kind of a newer floor plan here. There's not a, if you remember, there were in some of the other videos, there was a little bit some shelving I'd done around the outside, sort of like a front door area here. This one I've made the actual bar library space a lot smaller. This is kind of what I've been working on here lately. This is like a private room, where you could have, you know, your cigars. You could sit there, have a drink. There's some, shelving with a whole bunch of books in that area with access right here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. I kind of thought about. I made the floor a little bit smaller, took this in a little bit because I didn't think I needed all that space, but I didn't want to kind of change the walls just yet. So I figured, hey, I could probably make this like a separate room or, just do something different over here. But yeah, so I'm going to play from here and, you'll see as we're in here, it's decent sized space. And but this is really what I've been spending a lot of time on that I wanted to show. And you'll see, kind of looks a little strange from the outside. But once we come in here, you will see we are starting to have a room take place. I've got some assets on the wall. I'm actually really proud about that material color I made right there that's supposed to simulate a bright shining light, using that kind of all over the place right here. That's a little too bright, honestly, but definitely gives off that effect, I think. But yeah, so kind of using some assets on the wall, or excuse me, on the ceiling. So we have that, I didn't make that, but that came with the cigar room. Yep, the cigar room pack here that was free in the store a while back. There's a whole bunch of meshes there that I've been using. But yeah, as you can see, we've got some furniture down. We've got this thing right here, which I think I might just use as the cabinet space that has a whole bunch of liquor bottles, perhaps some cigars there. We have kind of like a drink cabinet, I guess. I think about the old globes that you open them up and there'd be a whole bunch of drinks inside, so I might put some there. Yeah, and then really kind of starting to work on doing a whole bunch of. I think what I'm going to do as far as populating the shelves with books is just, several at a time that are pretty much the same size and shape. And then I'll combine those, merge those into one actor, and then I will look to kind of, stack them kind of this way, or I'll stack them kind of, the other way just to make it look like, this empty shelf is kind of starting to be taken up, and then I'll probably change some of those out, do some with different books because it definitely gets pretty tedious coming in here stacking book by book by book, especially when you have all of this space and all of that space over there that needs to be stacked. And then, of course, we need to put some stuff on the table here, but really I like the way this room is taking shape. I'm not sure. I think with this wall right here, really what I want to do, I'm thinking about maybe removing this fireplace and this little frame, this area here, kind of taking a glass wall almost straight out to here and then coming over and turning this little area into like a walk-in humidifier. But um, maybe I might kind of save that for something out there as well too. But yeah, just kind of so for my really, I think the next step is getting all of these shelves populated with books, and I'll walk through kind of what that looks like right now. But really, I've just been coming in and starting off with a one simple book. I think I've got some down here in the mega scans. Yep, so there's one right there. Um, lost my place there. We'll turn that so the spine's facing outwards, and then we will kind of align that more, say right about there. Maybe make it a bit larger. That's not so bad. Then we'll just start to duplicate some of these. Yep, so as you can see, that is extremely tedious. And I kind of like the idea of coming down here and let's say if you control click and grab all of these and then tools and merge actors, then merge actors again. We'll put this in your, always got to have your own kind of content folder, but just start doing book stacks. Stack 1, save. Sure, I can't remember. I think that's an older file, perhaps from what got deleted. Oh, what just happened there? Well, that's interesting. Hmm. I've never seen that before. So that just seemed to take the whole shelf and remove it. Well, let me come back in here. Oh, I bet I know what I did right there. I think I actually called my shelf book stack. Wow. So make sure you don't save over your assets. Well, that's all good. What we will do is we will really wasn't 100% sold on those shelving, so maybe we will re-put those back in here. But yeah, tips and tricks. Make sure you save and make sure you also do not save over all of your assets that you've previously built. So I do have this one, which I kind of like the standalone ones a little bit more. Doesn't take up as much space versus kind of like a big wraparound shelf. That's interesting. I can't believe I called that one Book Stack 1, and that's what I chose to name it, not even paying attention. Wow. So I'm gonna do a something like that, I think, and then we will merge these together. So now I want to save a whole bunch of these. Definitely not going to save over what I just made there. Call these something else. Okay, and then we'll merge these together. There. PS1. Yep, that looks good. I like the way that looks, so we'll merge these. Tools. Merge actors. Merge actors. I know this is quite a tedious process, even doing it this way, but at least we kind of get more, larger books, more of a volume taken up, this way that we can consume on the shelf. We can definitely alter the size of this, or then we can go back and, do something where, with these we can separate them, make a little smaller, stack, combine one from the other. Essentially you get, and these all come from Quixel Bridge, so all of these book meshes were free. So why did that separate like that? Why is that doing that, I wonder? Maybe try to realign these a little bit. See if that, don't want a separation in between them. I don't like that. That's fine. Oh, we'll merge these together. This is the fifth one. Let's merge these, and then that should be good. All right, let's get rid of that. I think I have some wood-colored materials, so let's. Can't remember. Yeah, it's interesting, but I don't like. This might be a little better. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I like that. And then there we go. So yes, even stacking these together like this, as you can see, takes a little bit of time. All right, that's not so bad. Yeah, it's unfortunate change there. I should have paid attention to what I named that first shelf, but I do kind of like this look a little bit more. I think this will give me some room to kind of play around with how I want to alter this wall here. What other effects or changes I want to, again, if I put that humidifier in here, or if I put just some kind of more furniture along the wall or something like that. Um, yeah, I think this room will come together a little bit nicer without having those extremely large shelves and just, using these in place of that. Um, but yeah, so I'll kind of be looking to, I think, obviously take something very similar to this, full of books, and then stack this over here in this corner as well. And then on if I do some more furniture here or however I decide to break that up. But the next thing I do want to focus on is starting to build a bar. So I think in this space, I'm gonna come out, start with just some starter content, some of the architecture. And I think what we will put down, let's do like a column here. Shorten this a little bit. Do that like that. Like we'll take this wall. I'm going to turn this. I think really the effect that I'm going for is just, I think you're going to kind of front entrance somewhere over here. There'll be a bit more of an open area here. Maybe another private room over here, and then you'll walk back, and then this bar will kind of come down to about roughly the length of this kind of private room, and then just sort of come back into the wall with a bunch of drinks on shelves, or bottles kind of on shelving behind here. Um, but yeah, then I'm not sure what I want to repurpose this space into, or if we'll even leave it, the space a part of this. But perhaps a doorway here, and maybe like a yard area outside, um, smoking area, something like that. You do a couple things, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna shorten this to about here. Suppose that's about the level that we would want. And I think let's go ahead and about like that. Duplicate it. Yep, that's good. So I think I'll have some kind of center workstation here to take up space maybe. Uh, so just to show off the books, if you come into Quixel Bridge and type in books, you'll see there are tons of really nice meshes for different older themed books. I mean, I guess you really wouldn't see, maybe you wouldn't think about this as being a brand. I mean, some of these maybe, but like some of these look like they could be in like an extremely old, like the Catholic Church and like or like in the I was going to say the library from Harry Potter, like some really old manuscripts. But yeah, obviously, come if you're ever doing another build like this down the road, I would say you really don't even need to buy any any books or any kind of meshes here. Crookston Bridge has it covered. Yep, what I do want to do, I think there's some shelving in here that I want to use. Yeah, so something like this right here. I like that. And this is the material I made, just to show this off real quick. Um, really pretty easy to get a light simulated material. You know, you're going to come in here. This is just a constant 3. And if you double click, you can change your color. I just immediately kind of took it down to a yellowish area. Make sure these values are all the way raised up. And then this is just a regular constant, and I've converted this to a parameter. Set this default value to 1, plug this into a multiply, and then into the immersive color slot. Once you've done this and you've saved this, you can create a material instance, and you have this, yep, right here, this simulated glow effect where you can raise this value up, and that just essentially it's how bright do you want this to ultimately look. Pretty straightforward. Where did that go? Yeah, okay. All right. Okay. And maybe we'll grab a little, like a ladder for the top shelf. It's quite tall. All right. So then I think kind of where I leave this at is I'm going to put sort of like a flatter surface area here and actually the actual top of the bar. And I think we'll achieve that just by again going back into Starter content, architecture. Grab one of these walls. We will and then let's duplicate this. Like that right there. We'll shorten this down just a little bit. Yeah, I like that a lot. And let's see what it looks like with a little bit of material. Whether I don't know if we'll stay with this material, but no, not that one. That's interesting. And that's, I don't think that's it. It's also kind of cool. That could be neat. Like one big slab that was carved with all of that, but I don't think that really fits the aesthetic of what we're going for here. I do kind of like that. That's really cool. Actually, I kind of like that a lot. Wonder how that would work. That one spot might be a little bit of trouble. Wonder if I could shorten this down and make that work. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Yeah, we'll work with that for now, and then Interesting, they have the glossy version. Or I guess the one with varnish and without varnish. All right. Yeah, might need to make it a little bit smaller on the top, but I think that's coming together nicely. And that might need to change. I don't know what else I would turn that into, but what other color this could really be. But I like the top of that bar. I like the way this is shaved. We'll put some drink bottles up here, of course. But yeah. And then, so I think on the next video, I'll look to hopefully not have any more of these bugs accidentally deleting things and starting over, of course. It's kind of ironic that this all that happened and then we accidentally deleted that by not remembering the name of that bookshelf, calling it Bookstack, and that was the name of what I was trying to save that as. But um, learn from our mistakes. I'll look to kind of build out the shelving here. I think put some additional shelving over there. And again, I'm not sure, once I've got all that done, how else this room will transform. We'll probably need some additional details on top of the tables and maybe some extra seating. But yeah, this is coming together nicely. But thanks, YouTube, and we'll look forward to the next video.